What's up, guys? Welcome to Why Go with Friends English. Today, we're going to talk about just preparing your mindset for studying English.
Right, so we're going to talk about 6 ways for you guys to kind of level up your learning. Ways that doesn't really involve changing the study method, but really changing the space around you or changing your mind before you actually start the language learning process.
Right. If you start in the right mindset, you're going to be able to do far more or enter that flow state that happens when you just really get in the zone with language learning and with studying and making things make sense. There's a time everybody gets into that space eventually, but we're going to talk about how to get yourself in that state a little bit more easily.
And we've talked about before about how creating the English island in your home is really important. But in this video, we're going to talk about how you also need those specific intensive study times as well to help you with your language learning.
Yeah, this is the point where we're talking about you taking your English acquisition and that you're refining it with specific study sessions. And we're talking about how to get yourself into that mindset.
So let's kick it off.
Number one is you need to start thinking of yourself as a language learner. That means not thinking, oh, I can't do it. It's too hard. English is so hard. I've been doing this for 12 years and I'm still not fluent. You need to get that out of your mind because it takes self-discipline to learn a language. Self-discipline precedes action, which results in motivation. So all of us, I'm sure in our lives, have started something with all the best intentions. We had a plan. We were going to do it.
Yeah.
We were going to learn this thing in 6 months, whatever it takes. But obviously that motivation goes away pretty quick when the going gets tough. What will carry you through that is self-discipline. If you keep showing up and you keep doing it and you keep striving and you keep studying, eventually you're going to get that reward. But most importantly, by taking those steps, by training your mind and disciplining yourself as a language learner, you are going to reach motivation. Essentially, you're going to start seeing results, and those results are going to result in motivation. Sometimes motivation just eludes us, and if you base all of your study strategy or all of the things you set out to do in life on a feeling of feeling motivated, it's just not going to get done, or it's going to be inconsistent. So don't do that. Yeah. Self-discipline is where it starts.
Yeah, and that's why a lot of these others that we're going to talk about are ways that you can help encourage that self-discipline. Not the motivation necessarily, but the self-discipline from the get-go, from the beginning.
Right.
Number 2 is to also choose a time of day that you feel like you can study a little bit easier.
Yeah, so if you have kids, like we do, it's getting up way earlier than them. Which means 5 o'clock, 5:30, whatever it takes in order to be able to study and get things done before they wake up. Because by the end of the day, we are exhausted. So, and honestly, a lot of other stuff that we didn't get to during the day because of some emergency or a kid falls and splits their head open, whatever it is, something will interrupt your study time in the evening. The later you push it, the later something we find in our lives will push it off. But if it's the first thing we do in the morning, we don't usually have problems with that.
Yeah. So find a time that you enjoy. So, for example,
if you're not a morning person.
Right. If you're not a morning person, you should not study your language in the morning, but you should choose maybe the afternoon when maybe your kids have a nap time still or siesta to be able to just use that chill time, that relaxed time to get a little bit of extra study in.
But at the same time, if you happen to be a night owl, that might be the best time for you to study too. There's no one size fits all here. It's whatever's best for you. That's going to be your time to take ownership and get that study time in.
Number 3 is to make it enjoyable. Make learning enjoyable. Because studying is not always fun. You feel like you're going uphill, you fail, you mess up, you take a quiz, and it's not a good score. So what you need to figure out is how you can make that process as enjoyable as possible. So, for example, if you don't like watching TED Talks in your own language, then you shouldn't watch TED Talks in English because it's not going to be enjoyable for you.
Right. Not everybody has a mind for grammar. I enjoy grammar, but not everybody does. But grammar is an important step to some degree to refine your language. Well, if you're going to be studying grammar for that study session, then do something else too that's more fun. Make sure there's something that you really enjoy doing in English during your study time. So watch a video, watch something fun, or listen to a fun song or something like that. Mix it up so that you do have something enjoyable to do in each study session, even if you're going to be studying something like grammar. Number 4 is starting a tradition. every time that you study, you need to have something that you do, just kind of like a little mini tradition that you really enjoy doing. So for me, it's like having a hot cup of coffee or a hot cup of tea for me to sit down. And that's just when I get into that mindset of like, yes, I'm ready to study. I'm ready to sit down and read. I'm ready to do whatever it is that I need to do for this sit down time. And usually my study or my read time lasts the duration of my hot drink.
For me, it's listening to music in the background. But listen to something like lo-fi music where it's not really a whole lot of words. I'm not trying to process the music. I'm just letting it, I'm enjoying listening to it while I get busy doing something else.
Right.
Those are a couple of traditions that you guys could do. Maybe another one is maybe like wrap up in a blanket or light a nice candle, study by the fire.
Definitely depends on the season. So we have different traditions we do as the seasons change. Right now, it is summer. It is hot. So
not going to be studying by a fire.
No, but I still drink my hot cup of coffee.
Number 5 is to be flexible.
Yes.
So the problem with so many people as they try to form a habit and they try to give themselves motivation is that when they fail one day, they start to get onto themselves saying, you missed a day, you have to make it up, do 2 days, do 3 a day.
Catch up all of it tomorrow. Oh, tomorrow I'll get to it. Well, life happens. Interrupts you, and then you say, okay, I'll do 3 days of work the next time that I can sit down, or 4 days. And before long, it's just too much and it crushes you on the inside. I tend to do this. Yeah. So one of the things that you can do to avoid this is just say, you know what? If something happens today, that's okay. I'm just going to do something really lax, low-key to acquire English. Maybe I'll watch a video before I go to bed, or maybe I'll speak in English to myself as I drive home. Whatever it is, do something just chill and easy while you're going about doing and putting out fires of life or whatever it is that you have to do. Just take it easy. It's okay. Tomorrow's another day. Yeah. Just do it again tomorrow. Don't keep yourself to this hardcore plan. That is a huge mistake so many language learners make. And that what it does is it just tears you down. What you're doing is tearing yourself down until you just will give up.
And language learning is a journey, a long one. It's a marathon, not a sprint. And so a lot of times we think, how can I learn language as fastest as possible? Which means doubling up, tripling up, doing as much as I can in the very little time frame that I can. But really, the better way for you to do this is that be flexible. Relax. Do more some days, do less other days, so that you can create this whole lifelong, flexible journey of language learning.
Right, absolutely. Number 6, and the final one that we're going to do, is to participate with other learners. Not all of us are introverted like myself. A lot of people, like Josh, they really need to practice with a person. And really, I need to practice with a person too. I'm not going to achieve my language learning goals if I'm not practicing speaking with somebody actively in conversation. One of the things that you can do is to regularly meet up with a friend who's also studying. Make that a tradition. Go out for coffee or tea or something. Go out and do something together using only the target language that you're studying for. Definitely just go out and do something with people in that language and engage in it. And if you can't go out, then meet them for a call. And if you don't know anyone studying English, well, get on the internet. There's so many people out there looking for partners. Go on to Facebook, look for a Facebook group. There's stuff everywhere. Groups everywhere. English internet chat rooms everywhere for people trying to learn English. But be smart about it.
And the point is not necessarily to get somebody to always be speaking English with you, but really it's to find somebody who's empathetic or sympathetic to that language learning process. It's like going to the gym. If I go to the gym with one of my friends, I'm more likely to go. If I go running with one of my friends, I'm more likely to go. So what you guys need to do is to find somebody else who's learning a language, maybe not even English, but a language, and they can understand the struggle and can talk with you and help you, encourage you to keep going.
Yeah. So those are our 6 tips, but it really comes down to being diligent and self-disciplined because I mean, we get it. I was a homeschooler for years, and then Josh studied his whole master's degree here at home. So we get it. It's really hard to do it, and especially if you're doing it by yourself. And life happens, whether you work and have kids and have to balance all the things, juggle all the things. Life is not going to get any easier, so you definitely don't want to procrastinate. Do what little you can now, And slowly and slowly it'll become a habit, and you'll be able to invest in that habit and grow it more and more. Make it enjoyable, be disciplined.
Yeah, and what we're not saying in this video is that preparing the space is going to make you learn English.
That's true.
What we are saying is that it can multiply your language learning by creating a suitable space for you guys to do that better. It can either add to your language learning or it can take away. It does not define language learning.
Absolutely.
So we would like to hear from you guys. What's your favorite way to help you prepare the space and the time for you guys to learn language? Do you have any special traditions? Do you have any habits to help you learn English? We would love to know. Put that in the comments below because we would love to hear from you guys.
All right. That's it, guys. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.
Bye.